The sunshine is coming out, the flowers are beginning to bloom, and so is the real estate market in the greater Seattle area. In today's video, we're going to cover what is actually happening in March 2023 and what is going to happen in the future. So stay tuned, we're going to cover all that and more. Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Matthew Chapman. I'm a local realtor here in the greater Seattle area, and I specialize in helping sellers who want to sell right, who want to sell smart, as well as working with buyers looking to relocate to this region, maybe from another city or a state. I also specialize in helping people invest in homes here. I'm an investor myself, and I specialize in helping buyers who are looking to move up into a bigger and better home. So if you've never followed my channel before, would you please take a moment and just click subscribe? That would just mean a ton to me, and that way you'll get notified of all future content that I produce. And you could also follow me on Instagram at chapmanhomeshq.com for more up-to-date, minute-by-minute updates for the real estate market. So in today's video, we're going to look at what you need to know if you're looking at buying or investing here for March 2023. And so we're going to look at the East Side and Seattle statistics. So let's get right into it. So first off, for those of you that are new to my channel, the East Side generally refers to east of Lake Washington, which is primarily the suburbs. So you have Bellevue, Redmond, Issaquah, Woodinville, Bothell, those areas, and then you have Seattle proper. And those are really two distinct markets. So if you look at the East Side market, the median home sales price for February 2023 was $1.34 million. That's compared to $1.697 million last year in February. So this means that prices are down 21% from a year ago. And last year at this time, we had 81% of the homes selling above asking, which was insane, which was crazy. And last month, compared to last year, we had just 17% of the homes selling above asking. And right now, currently, we are sitting at 1.1 months supply of inventory. And generally speaking, 4 months supply of inventory means that it's a balanced market, although I'm kind of seeing that my opinion is more like a 3 month supply of inventory begins to see a balanced market. But needless to say, the power still is in the seller's hands for the most part for single family homes right now in this region for the East Side in particular. But if you compare the prices and the payments to 2 years ago, February 2021, you're going to find that sales prices are actually up 6% from 1.265 million to 1.34 million right now, this time, right as we sit here. So from 2 years, we've seen an increase of 6% in real estate. But if you just look at this last year, we've actually seen a 21% dip in the East Side market. So now let's talk about the Seattle proper market. Seattle is actually made up of about 50 different neighborhoods. The Seattle median home sale price was $825,000 last month compared to $925,000 a year before. And that's a decrease of 11%. So not quite as much of a decrease as the East Side saw. And that's simply because Seattle never saw the crazy appreciation rates that the East Side market saw right after the pandemic. So prices are actually up 3.5% if you look back 2 years in the Seattle market. And right now we have 42% of the homes sell in less than 15 days in Seattle. We have, again, about a 1.1 months supply of inventory in the Seattle market. So the power still lies with the sellers, even in this market as well. So those are some gloomy statistics. Now I will say that those numbers are a month behind, so we're still waiting for the current statistics to come out, and we are seeing things change right now in the real estate market. We're seeing multiple offers come back to the table, and we're seeing more inventory come back on the market, although not a ton. So let's talk about what is actually driving the current real estate market right now as we sit. Well, it happens to be interest rates. And the interest rates and the new listings taken are actually driving the real estate market. So interest rates are actually up a half point from about 6.09 on February 2023 to 6.65 in March right now as we sit. And new listings taken in February 2023 are actually down by 513 compared to last year. That's 33% that we have less listings than last year. And active inventory is dropping. So it's a whole supply and demand issue right now. We have less inventory coming on the market. And why is that, you might ask? Well, we have homeowners sitting on 2% and 3% interest rates that they refinanced last year. And to be honest, why would they want to sell when they are sitting on such a good interest rate unless they have to relocate for a job or something like that? But it's very difficult for a homeowner to think about selling their home when they have a 2 to 3% interest rate and then buying another home at a 6.5% to 7% interest rate. That's a hard pill to swallow. So as a result, we're seeing less inventory come back on the market, even though historically speaking, the spring market is actually the best time to list, and it's the time when we see the greatest amount of inventory. So inventory is low and interest rates have actually are in flux still, and that is creating multiple offers. Multiple offers are coming back to the table, particularly in the single-family home market in the greater Seattle area, including the east side. Not so much townhomes and condos, that's a different ballgame, but single-family homes, we're seeing multiple offers come back to the table. I was just in a multiple offer situation for my clients where there was 9 offers on the property in Seattle, and my client won. And there was another multiple offer situation we were in the east side. There was 3 offers on that, and we actually came out victorious on that one as well. But the point is, gone are the days where you're just going to be the only offer right now. And that's really because of the supply and demand issue. So let's talk more about what we're seeing in the market right now. So what we're seeing in the market right now is sellers are starting to put offer review dates on their homes. And what that means is typically a home lists for sale on a Wednesday or a Thursday here in this market, and they have an offer review date of Monday or Tuesday. And so that means that home is likely going to be gone on pending by Monday or Tuesday. And the reality is that if you are interested in a home and you want to buy a home and you fall in love with this home, the first thing I need to do as the realtor is reach out to the listing agent to actually determine if they are going to play by the offer review date guideline, because there are no rules. That's just a guideline. And in fact, they could sell that home minutes after it goes live. Now, typically that doesn't happen. Typically the seller will want to wait a day or two, but it does happen occasionally. So to ensure that you're not missing out on the home that you want to see, I would need to make that phone call on your behalf and just reach out to see, hey, are you guys going to wait for the offer review date? And if they're a little wiggly on their answer, we might want to get out there sooner rather than later. And I might want to do a video tour for the home for you. We can arrange that. There's all sorts of things that we can do. But we are seeing really nice buyers come to the table and offer a great offer before the offer review date, and at times the seller will take that, and that's actually, it could work out really good for you as the buyer because there's less competition. And if you put a compelling offer together and you're getting in front of all the other guys, that seller might want to take that offer. But again, that's not always the best case scenario for you. So every situation's different, and really just requires having a realtor that has a good pulse on the market so that can really advise you on what all your options are so that you can make the decision as a buyer. But we are seeing offer review dates come back to the table, and we are seeing multiple offers come back to the table, and occasionally that home will go off the market before the offer review date even hits. So last week I was on a phone call with a new client, and they were lamenting that they didn't buy last year when the interest rates were so low. And it's true. They said, we did not realize that our monthly payment would change that drastically. And let's face it, if you were buying an $800,000 house and the interest rate went up 2 whole %, then you were going to be paying $1,000 more a month on your monthly payment on average. That's a lot of money. money. But the reality is last year at this time, when I was telling my client, was that you were overpaying for the house. And there was crazy bidding wars and tons of competition. And right now, if you're a buyer out there, this is a time to buy because yes, multiple offers are coming back to the table, but not as many once the interest rates lower again. And we think that they are going to go lower probably around June. There's no guarantee, but if they drop to the low fives, which is the prediction right now, we're going to see more competition come back. And so as a buyer, this is a time where you can get in the game, get a house with less competition, and sometimes even get a house below list price if it's been on the market more than 7 days. And so my advice to you is marry the house, but date the rate. You've heard me say that before. Fall in love with that house. Make sure you find the right house. Don't rush the process, but be ready to go. Be ready to pull the trigger. Have a good game plan in place. And if you find that house, go for it. And just to know that the experts are saying that that rate is not going to be your rate forever. So you're going to be marrying the house, dating the rate, and most likely refinancing, and then your monthly payment will go down. So that's great news for you. So consider being active right now. Message me if you want more information. I'm happy to come up with a custom game plan for you. We're also seeing that sellers are being, generally speaking, more realistic with their price. And they're trying to price their home at market value because it's not a guarantee that it's going to go above asking. Last year at this time, we were seeing crazy bidding wars. There was 15, 20 multiple offers sometimes on properties. And if that house was listed fairly or just below asking, it could go up 300,000 to 400,000 above ask. And that is simply not happening as much. So you can breathe a sigh of relief because the bidding wars that we're seeing right now are just simply not that crazy. They are much more realistic. They actually look like the 2019 market and the 2020 market, where we saw homes escalating 7 to 12% above asking on average. That's about what we're seeing now. So if you're looking for a property and your max price is $1 million and it's listed at $1 million, you can expect that home to actually go above list price if it's a nice home, 7 to 12%. Now it's a general rule of thumb. Sometimes it goes a little bit above, sometimes it goes a little bit below, but that's really helpful information for you as a buyer to search, because if your max is $1 million, you might actually want to be searching in the 925 range as your max list price because you know it's going to land above that list price value. So that's a helpful tip for you to make sure that you're not wasting your time. But if the home has been on the market for more than 7 days, then generally speaking, you actually might be able to land that home below list price. And so that's where you need to be smart as a buyer and think, okay, I actually can look at homes or maybe a little bit over $1 million if the home has been on the market for more than 7 days. But typically the good ones, the great homes go quickly. The ones with a great floor plan, good location, and well updated homes are landing 7 to 12% above asking in just 5 days. So if you've got questions about the market or you're considering buying, relocating, investing here, don't hesitate to reach out. My team and I would love to assist you and just help you discern if buying a home is your next right thing to do. You can find me at chapmanhomeshq.com for more information. I'm Matthew Chapman, and I'll see you next time.